Namaste dosto and welcome back to the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow, the one place where we talk about real careers, real struggles and real solutions. And I'm your host, Kapeel Gupta, a career counselor, and today we're going to have one of the most important conversations of your life. So put in your earphones, find a quiet corner and listen carefully. This one is for you. So let me start with a small story. Just imagine a boy named Rahul, 22 years old, from middle class family in Delhi. He studied hard, got into a decent engineering college, graduated with decent marks, and then got a job. A job that everyone around him said was settled. His relatives at every marriage or any other function would say, Wah Rahul, bahut acha kar rahe ho, meaning you're doing great. And Rahul would smile. But at 11 p.m., every night, lying in his bed, he would stare at the ceiling and feel something very strange: emptiness. Not sadness, not failure, just emptiness. Like something was missing. So, does this sound familiar to any of you? Maybe it's your story too. So, Rahul had a job, he had a salary, he had respect, but Rahul did not have one thing: a life he was proud of. And today, my friends, we're going to fix that. Not just for Rahul, but for every single one of you who is listening and secretly wondering, is this it? Is this what I worked so hard for? Because here is the truth nobody tells you in school or college: a degree gets you a job, but it does not automatically give you a life worth living. So today's episode is called Building a Life You Are Proud of. And we are going to talk about 5 powerful ideas that will completely change the way you think about your career, your money, your mind, and your future. So we'll go through values, skills, mental health, financial basics, and something called prototyping your career. So stay with me. This is going to be good. Hi, I'm Kapeel Gupta, career coach, life mentor, and founder of Study Abroad Academy. I empower students, parents, and conscious professionals to design a fulfilling life and career by aligning their minds, values, and aspirations. I do it with coaching, mindset work, and the game changing power of graphotherapy because students deserve more than just guidance, they deserve transformation. So, let's dive in. According to a Deloitte Global Millennial Survey, 75% of millennials and Gen Z employees say they would take a pay cut to work at a company whose values match their own. Money matters, but meaning matters more. And before we can build a life we are proud of, we must answer one very important question: proud according to whom? Because most of us, and I say this with full love and respect, we have been living other people's definitions of success. Our parents' definition, our relatives' definition, our neighbor uncle's definition, beta IIT karo, beta government job lo, beta settle ho jao. And we followed these definitions without ever asking ourselves, but what do I actually want? Now, this is not your parents' fault. They grew up in a different India, an India where security and stability were the greatest gifts you could give your children. But you, my friend, are growing up in a different world, a world where opportunities are more diverse than ever before, a world where a Delhi boy can build a startup, a Delhi girl can become a UX designer for a company in New York, a small town kid can become a famous content creator. The definition of success has expanded, but our thinking has not always kept up. So, here is your first big idea: you need to define what proud means to you. And to do that, you need to understand your values. Values are the things that matter most to you at your core. Some people value freedom, some value security, some value creativity, and some value helping others, some value status, some value adventure. None of these are wrong. But if you are living a life that is completely out of sync with your values, you'll always feel that emptiness, just like Rahul did. So, your life's GPS can only work if you know your destination. Values are the address you type in first. So, okay, listeners, now take out your phone or a piece of paper, just right now. I want you to answer three questions honestly. Number one, think of a moment in your life, even a small moment, nothing fancy about it, when you felt truly happy and alive. What were you doing at that time? Number two, if money was not a problem and people's opinions did not matter, how would you spend your Tuesdays? And number three, what makes you so angry about the world that you want to do something about it? Your answers to these three questions will show you your values. Because what excites you, what you daydream about, and what injustice you cannot tolerate, these are the signposts to your authentic self. Write them down, read them, and that is your starting point. And here's a reflection question for you. Are you currently building a life based on your values or based on what you think people expect from you? Be honest with yourself because the journey to a proud life begins with that honesty. And if you realize today that you've been living someone else's script, congratulations. Awareness is the first step to change. And you are already three steps ahead of most people just by asking this question. Okay, now that we know that what we value, let us talk about how we build on top of that. And that brings me to one of my absolute favorite concepts, skill stacking. Now, this is a term that sounds very fancy, but it's actually very simple. Skill stacking means combining multiple skills, even average ones, in a unique way that makes you very valuable in the marketplace. You do not need to be the best in the world at one thing, you need to be good enough at several related things that together make you rare and useful. Let me give an example. Suppose you're average at coding, average at writing, and average at marketing. Separately, none of those skills make you a superstar, but stack them together. Suddenly, you're someone who can build a product and explain it to customers and market it online. Do you know how rare that is? In the startup world, in the content world, in the digital economy, that combination is gold. And this is skill stacking. And it is a strategy that will protect you in a world where AI is changing every industry. According to the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2023, nearly 44% of workers' core skills are expected to change in the next 5 years due to automation and technology. Think about that. Nearly half of what you learned might need updating within 5 years. This means if you're not a lifelong learner, you're already falling behind. But here's the good news. India has some of the best free learning resources in the world, and most of us do not even know about them. The WEF estimates 44% of core job skills will change by 2027. Lifelong learning is not an option anymore, it's survival. Listen carefully, dosto, because I'm about to save you lakhs of rupees in tuition fee. If you want to learn new skills for free, and I mean completely free, check out NPTEL from IITs and IIMs, Swayam, which is run by the Government of India, and Coursera, which gives financial aid to Indian students. Now, these are world class courses many taught by professors from IIT Bombay and IIT Delhi, and they cost you exactly 0 rupees. Now, there's literally no excuse today to say, I cannot afford to learn. So here's my challenge for you this week. Identify one skill that is adjacent to what you already do. Something that would complement your current abilities and make you a bit more versatile. Then find a free course on Swayam or NPTEL and commit to just 30 minutes a day. That's all. Just 30 minutes. In 3 months, you'll surprise yourself. In 1 year, you will not recognize the old you. Skill stacking is not about becoming a genius overnight. It's about becoming slightly better every single day in multiple directions at first. Now, let us talk about something that no one, and I mean no one, teaches you in school or at home: mental well being. We talk about career planning, we talk about salaries, we talk about which company to join, but we almost never talk about whether our mind and body can sustain the journey. And friends, this is crisis, a very real one. India is facing a massive mental health epidemic, especially among young people. According to a 2023 report by the Indian Council of Medical Research, nearly 1 in 7 Indians, and that is over 197 million people, suffered from a mental health disorder. Among young professionals, burnout has become so common that it's almost treated as a badge of honor. I worked 14 hours today. I've not taken a holiday in 2 years. I'll rest when I retire. We wear exhaustion like a medal, and it's quietly destroying us. 1 in 7 Indians suffer from a mental health disorder, according to the Indian Council of Medical Research. And yet, mental health conversations in career planning are almost non existent. Let us change that today. I recently had a conversation with a senior HR leader at a top Delhi NCR company, and she told me something that stuck with me. She said, Kapil, the employees who last the longest and grow the fastest in an organization are not the ones who work the most hours. They are the ones who know when to stop, when to ask for help, and when to recharge. Sustainable performance always beats sprint and crash. And I think that is wisdom every young Indian professional needs to hear, because we are taught to grind, but we are never taught to recover. So, what does good work design actually look like? It means setting clear boundaries between your work time and your personal time. It means understanding that saying no to one thing is saying yes to your own well being. It means taking your weekend seriously. It means talking to someone, a friend, a mentor, or a professional counselor when things get too heavy. It means recognizing that your mental health is not a sign of weakness, it's the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. So, it's something practical. Do a stress audit every Sunday evening. Just 5 minutes. Ask yourself three things: what drained me this week? What energized me? And what do I want to do differently next week? So, this small habit, done consistently, will help you notice patterns before they become problems. A life you're proud of is not built in a hospital bed from burnout. It's built by a mind and body that are well and rested and ready. Take care of your most important asset. Yes, yourself. So now, let us talk money. And before anyone rolls their eyes and says, "ये सब तो मुझे पता है," no, it doesn't. Because if you truly understand money, the average Indian youth would not be taking loans for unnecessary gadgets, not tracking their spending, and definitely not starting to invest in their 20s. So please keep an open mind for the next few minutes. And here's the big idea: financial freedom is not about being rich, it's about having enough choices. When you have some savings, You can say no to a bad job. When you have an emergency fund, a health crisis does not destroy your family. When you start an SIP, that is a systematic investment plan, at 22 instead of 32, you literally let time do the heavy lifting through the magic of compound interest. Finance is not a rich person's game, it is a smart person's game. And the rules are simpler than you think. So let me break it down into four practical steps, especially for someone living in a city like Ghaziabad or anywhere in Delhi NCR where the cost of living is real but manageable if you are intentional. So, step one is your emergency fund. Before you invest a single rupee, save at least 3 to 6 months of your essential living expense in a separate savings account. In Ghaziabad, if your monthly expenses are around 15 to 20,000 for rent, food, and transport, your emergency fund target is 60,000 to 1.2 lakhs. Keep this money only for real emergencies, job loss, medical, family crisis, not for a sale on Mintra. And step two is a simple budget. Spend 50% of your income on needs, 30% on wants, and save or invest 20%. This is called the 50-30-20 rule, and it works beautifully for Indian salaries. Step 3 is your SIP. Even rupees 500 per month in an index mutual fund from age 22 can grow to lakhs by the time you are 45, thanks to compounding. Use any reliable mutual fund app and start this week, not next month. And step 4 is health insurance. This one is not glamorous, but it is critical. A single hospitalization can wipe out years of saving. Get a basic health insurance policy early when premiums are low. The reason I include financial planning in a career show is simple. Money gives you options. When you have financial stability, you can take calculated risk with your career. You can say no to a toxic boss. You can quit an upskill for 6 months. You can start a side business. You can take an unpaid internship at a company you love. And financial freedom is not about fancy cars and big bungalows. It's about having the power to make choices aligned with your values, which we talked about in step one. See how everything connects? So, this is what a holistic, proud life looks like. SIP of just 500 per month started at age 22, assuming 12% annual returns, can grow to approximately 25 to 27 lakhs by the age of 55. Time, not income level, is the biggest factor in wealth building. Start small, start now. Okay, now we are on the last big idea, and this one might be my favorite because it completely flips the traditional Indian career advice on its head. We've always been told decide what you want to do in life, work hard for it, and then do it forever. One path, one decision, one life. But what if I told you that the most successful, happy, and fulfilled professionals I have ever counseled did not follow one straight path? They experimented, they tried things, they made small bets, and they found their way. Now, this concept is called prototyping your career. And it comes from the world of design thinking. Just like an engineer builds a small model before constructing a whole building, you should build small versions of your career before committing fully to a direction. And the beautiful thing is, prototyping your career costs very little in terms of time, money, and risk, but it teaches you an enormous amount. Let me tell you about Priya. She was 24 from UP, had done her BCom, and was completely confused about what to do next. Everyone was saying MBA, everyone was saying government job, and she had no idea what she actually wanted. So instead of spending 2 years and lakhs of rupees on an MBA she was unsure about, she did three small experiments in 6 months. She did two informational interviews. She just messaged people on LinkedIn whose job sounded interesting. and asked for a 20-minute call to understand their work. She took a 2-week freelance content writing project from a small dairy business just to see if she liked it. And she enrolled in a free mini course on digital marketing on Swayam. 3 small bets, zero big commitments. So don't wait for the perfect moment to start. The perfect moment is built from 100 imperfect experiments. So, you want to know what happened to Priya? After those 3 small bets, she discovered she absolutely loved content strategy and digital marketing. She hated accounting. She would never have known this sitting at home worrying. 6 months after those experiments, she had a full time job as a content strategist at a Noida based startup, doing work she genuinely enjoys, earning well, and this is the important part. She goes to bed without staring at the ceiling, feeling empty. And that is a life she's proud of. And she built it not by making one big perfect decision, but by making many small brave ones. So, let me share your career prototyping starter kit. Action 1: send 2 informational interview requests this week. Go on LinkedIn right now. Find 2 people who have jobs or careers that sound interesting to you and send them a polite message. Something like, "Hello, sir, ma'am, I admire your work," and of course, the field, and I would love to learn from your experience. Would you be open to a 15-minute conversation? Most people are kinder than you think. Action 2: find a 14-day mini challenge or a short freelance gig on platforms like Internshala or Fiverr in any area you are even mildly curious about. Graphic design, writing, video editing, data entry. Just try it. You'll either love it or learn from it. Both are wins. And action 3: enroll in one mini course this week. Not a 6 month program, just something short and specific. Swayam, NPTEL, YouTube playlist, or any platform you prefer. Spend 20 minutes a day on it for 2 weeks and see what sticks. 3 small bets, that is all it takes to start building the life you're proud of. And here's the beautiful thing about career prototyping: it takes away the fear. Most of us are paralyzed because we think every decision is irreversible. What if I choose the wrong career? What if I waste years? But when you treat your career as a series of experiments rather than a series of permanent commitments, suddenly the fear reduces. You're not choosing your whole life, you're just running a 2 week experiment. That's it. And each experiment teaches you something valuable. Either that you love something and want to go deeper, or that this particular path is not for you. Both of those are incredibly useful information. So, all right, my friends, we have covered a lot today. So, let me bring it all together for you because this is important. We talked about defining what proud means through your own values, not through someone else's approval. We talked about skill stacking and lifelong learning because the world is changing fast and the adaptable will always thrive. We talked about mental well being and work design because no career is worth your health and peace of mind. And we talked about 4 simple financial steps that give you freedom and choices. And we talked about prototyping your career through small, brave experiments rather than one perfect, paralyzing decision. And now let me tell you what happened to Rahul. The boy from the beginning of our story, he listened to an episode like this one and he started asking himself hard questions. He did the values exercise and realized he deeply valued creativity and teaching. He took a free online course in graphic design. He volunteered to create visual presentations for his team at work. And 3 months later, his manager noticed. 6 months later, he was leading the design communications for his entire department, still at the same company, but in a role that actually lit him up. The emptiness? Almost gone. He started a small weekend workshop teaching design basics to students in his locality. And one Sunday morning, he woke up, made his chai, looked at his life, and felt proud. That is the goal, friends. Not millions in the banks on day one, not a job title that impresses strangers, just that quiet, solid feeling of waking up and knowing this is my life. I'm building it intentionally and I'm proud of it. That feeling is available to all of you, not someday, starting today, starting with one small decision, starting right after this episode ends. A life you're proud of is not a destination, it's a direction, one brave choice at a time. So let us do it together. If today's episode resonated with you, if you felt even one yes, this is me moment, then I'll want to personally help you. I'm Kapeel Gupta, a certified career counselor, and I work with students and young professionals across India to help them find clarity, build confidence, and create careers that actually fit who they are. Not just careers that look good on paper, real, meaningful, proud careers. So, my one on one counseling program is designed especially for Indian youth who feel confused, stuck, or like they're living someone else's life. We'll map your values, design your skill plan, sort out your financial basics, and prototype your ideal career path together, step by step. So, book a free discovery call with me and follow the show for more episodes.